Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Welcome to our Bee and Marsh Christmas special, festive special. We're going to be doing some interesting topic today, and that's going to be if we need Scoob Holiday Haunt. If so, when do we need it? How would we like it? And all of that good stuff here. Because let's face it, in terms of actual movies and DTVs, we really don't have a lot in the way of festive specials, except I guess you could call Chill Out Scooby-Doo a festive special, but I'm not too sure. So Mark, what is your initial take on Holiday Haunt and, the need for it?
I say we definitely need it, considering that it's basically done. It's already been made and it's in the oven, and it's like,
Yeah, like it is
okay,
done,
there's
really.
99% done. Okay, they can finalize that and get out on the shelves before Christmas easily. Because there's no point keeping it in the archives when it's basically a full movie. If it got leaked, we would have probably seen it on DVD by now, like the last one, the Crypto 2 one. It's just like, if they don't release it this month in December, then it would make stupid sense releasing it midway next year if they were ever going to plan it to do. Because I think if you're going to do a Christmas movie like this, do it in the December period. Maybe they could release it on December 24th, the day before Christmas, instead of on Christmas Day. That way it gives people time to actually watch it before spend the day with family. And you said like Chill Out Scooby Doo is like a festive one. There is also a What's Your Scooby Doo special episode, which
Oh
is a
yeah, there's
Christmas
quite a lot
theme.
of episodes, I think.
Yeah,
There's the
there's
Nutcracker Scoob,
that's the
the
thing.
Holly Merry
There's more
Scary Holiday.
specials that are holidays
Mm,
than actual movies, and that's what people miss out, is because most of them aren't released on um normal box sets. They're part of like special features on certain ones.
yeah.
So it's just trying to find them all. But I really want to see a Scooby Doo Christmas film this year. I felt like a best one would be Holiday Hunt, because I've been waiting for the seeing how it's almost done, and even people working on it have been saying that it's basically done. It's stupid if they don't release it, as it's perfect
Yeah.
time to properly release it, but they
From
could
what
make
I
money.
understand, it is release ready. Like, I think there's still some stuff on a technical level that professionals will know isn't fully there. But in terms of what we see as an audience, it is ready to be released. Like, if it was released tonight, we would see it as the completed thing. So that's kind of how much it is ready to be seen to the people. And we're on about the last week, because I know you said the 24th. I would almost say that that's maybe a little bit too late, because then realistically, you've only got. I mean, what time do you have to watch it? I guess as Scooby fans, we would find the time, in Christmas Eve, Christmas Day to watch it. But for general audiences, I'm not sure how much free time they would have because like I know people with a lot of family members, and Christmas Day can just be like going to like a comic or just where you meet your relatives. So I would almost say my ideal time to release Holiday Haunt would have been sometime maybe even mid-November. Whenever the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special was released last year, I think is a good time. But now I almost think this week, and we're recording this the 29th of November, so
Yeah,
yeah, I think it was the perfect time
I'm
to
the sort
release
of
this.
person who doesn't like watching Christmas films outside of December.
Oh, I feel so bad because I've
It's
watched like five already.
it's one of the
I'm the
things that I
worst.
don't. I'll always make it a rule that if it's outside December,
Yeah.
it's on hold. And I feel like especially when they release Christmas films outside of outside of December, it makes it very awkward. I can understand November because you want the sales in the cinema, but when you put it in July or August, it's really frustrating because it's not even Christmas yet, and you're
Yeah, I
just
mean that's what
throwing
they
it
did
in
with the
there.
Haunted Mansion movie. They released that in like the hottest month of the year
Yeah,
when they could have just held off on it until October.
October made it perfect.
Even the Wednesday show, they like put it on streaming on like the 5th of November. And I was like, well,
Yeah,
that would have been the perfect Halloween thing. So yeah, I can see what you're saying, especially around this festive time when people are going to be having marathons. But that's my thing, like the methodology, because I'll be honest, I had big doubts about the original release of Holiday Haunt just because they said HBO Max. And I know we have our ways of watching things that we don't really need to get into, like when they get us in a situation where we can't access it, like we're going to find a way as fans to view that by hook or by crook.
Yeah.
So HBO Max, we would not have been able to see that very easily in the first place. So now it's like we've got theatrical release or DVD release. I mean, I'd be happy for the creatives if it was HBO Max, but for us, like, what would you prefer, theatrical or DVD? And obviously, it would go on to DVD
I,
eventually,
I
but
I would prefer DVD because if you
mm,
get the theatrical one first, it comes out before the DVD.
good
But
point.
it's
Good point.
different now because if it comes out on theatrical release, it only be like a month or not even that until the DVD release is out. But back
Oh
growing
yeah.
up as a kid, it used to take months or a year for just the physical release to come out
Mm.
because it took so long in production. But now everything that goes in the cinema, like when Meg was out in the cinema, month later it was on DVD and Blu-ray. It was like so once it's done with the cinema release, it's literally not that long before it comes out on physical. But I would still prefer seeing the physical one straight away. Or if they were doing it on a streaming site like Amazon Prime, they can do it on that, and I'll gladly pay $9.99 or whatever it is just to watch it, and then own it on DVD down the line when it
Yeah.
does come. Because at least then I have seen it, and I know that there is going to be a DVD one coming soon. It's when they release it theatrical or on these streaming sites, and they don't release it on physical media, like Velma. I don't like the show, but I hate the fact that it's on HBO, and I also hate the fact that it's not getting a physical release. As a collector, I want the physical release. Not because I like the show, it's because now it's very awkward as a Scooby-Doo collector that I don't have Velma. And I know if they do ever release it, it's either going to get a Blu-ray or DVD release, which means I have to end up buying both of them.
What if they're complete shits about it and they get a Velma Steel book out? That
Oh
would just be
god.
wild.
Oh god, it's just be like its own section of DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, and Steelbook, and a limited edition one.
Jesus.
Oh
Yeah,
god,
with plush figurines, like some weird stuff like that.
just to say I've got the collection, not because I like the series. That's where they get you. They can make a terrible series, but they know people like us that say we hate it, we will still buy the physical media releases for it.
That's what I'm thinking about with this, because this might seem like a stupid idea, but I think getting Holiday Haunt direct to DVD this year would be probably the best move because they can distribute that worldwide. It's just a perfect thing. Like, I don't know what price point you'd be expecting that at. I want to say for a new DVD, £9.99, no
I
more than
I
£12, I'd say.
reckon it will get a Blu-ray and 4K release as well because the Scoob movie got all
Oh, did
three.
it?
So since
Yeah,
Scoob
yeah,
Follow the
yeah.
Hunt is basically a carry on from that in
Mm.
its own sense, it should fall under the same category of getting a DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. But
I
also,
think that would sell so quickly.
I reckon it will start out with streaming sites first, and then the media releases will come after.
Because for parents, like if it's just out there in the shelf, like Scooby-Doo is such a recognizable brand that to have something Christmas related would sell like hotcakes.
Yeah,
If not for the kids now, then it's such an ideal stocking filler. Like you think about the size of a DVD, that in a stocking or a Christmas Eve box is a no-brainer. And I'm thinking that there's stuff that even have reruns in on the big screen, like say the Polar Express. How old is that film now? Like I remember watching that before I could like read and write or something.
well, they're making a
And
live
that was
action of
in
that now.
the cinema last year on in the Odeon in my local Odeon. They like brought it back to the cinema for nostalgia. And like if
I
we get a
missed
Holiday
Odeon.
Haunt DVD this year, like they could put it in like Odeon in the theater for years to come as well.
Because people would still pay to watch it on the big screen because it's a
I
different
yeah,
experience.
yeah,
It's like
100%.
when I saw the Goonies on the big screen um 2 years ago. Yes, I've seen it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and I got it on 4K. But seeing it on the big screen is a totally different experience. Yeah, okay, I had to pay for it, but I could at least I can now say I saw Goonies on the big screen.
Yeah, same with me and Jaws. Did you ever watch the original Scoob on the big screen? Because they did like a limited release after lockdowns and stuff in
No,
Blackpool.
I didn't see the original Scoob on the big screen, which is one of my biggest. downfalls because it wasn't showing in my area.
Mhm.
And with work and everything, I couldn't
Yeah.
take time off to go to one of these places to watch it. And I was so annoyed. I was thinking, out of all the places, why couldn't you be where I am? I was like, COVID really ruined the experience of Scoob on the big screen for me.
Yeah, I
I
feel for
still
the
enjoyed
crew,
it,
really.
but
Like,
I was really literally hand on heart believing this is Scooby-Doo's comeback on the big screen, and I think it will do well. COVID happened, ruined most of it because we couldn't get a real good fixture on if it would do well or not. We just got a hit and miss. So the streaming size is all that we had, and because of that, Warner Bros. Pushed forward to release more stuff on streaming sites like Velma
yeah.
on HBO.
And Velma was a bit of a mistake, let's be
Oh
honest.
yeah,
But I think it was doubling down on that mistake, just putting it on HBO Max, like such a limited thing. Like maybe they were ashamed of it, they wanted to hide it, but it's like there's no reason for them not to have made more money, which they could have easily done by putting that on DVD, at least for international audiences. It's just, I don't know why some decisions are made, but that's the thing as well with star power. Sometimes I think maybe that kid crew wouldn't have been able to sell tickets the way that the grown-up voices would have done with Scoob. But now we've got a situation where what was then cast, new actors, new actresses, new voiceover artists are now pretty big names. Like we had McKenna Grace as Daphne in the Scoob movie, who were kind of like maybe she's been in a couple of things, we're not sure, and now she's the main person of the future of Ghostbusters. Ariana Greenblatt, who was in the Barbie
yeah.
movie, which was like the biggest movie of this year. So I think they could
They did
still
over a
do it,
billion.
you know.
They did a lot of money on the Barbie one.
Like, and Ian Armitage has just finished Young
But
Sheldon.
I don't think Barbie did as well as the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I think that had
Did it
done
not?
more. I think
Huh.
the Mario movie earned more.
I'm not sure. I always thought
It
Barbie
definitely got.
surpassed them, but I know it was quite close for a
I know
while.
the Mario Bros. Movie got to a billion way faster than the Barbie movie.
No.
I know that for a fact. I think the Mario Bros. Movie did more than Barbie. Because I was surprised Barbie did get over a billion in sales. I was surprised it got that. I was thinking the ballpark of 80,
Yeah.
like 880 million,
I wasn't too
950 million. I
surprised
wasn't
because
really
of
expecting the 1 billion.
one, the aggressive marketing, which was everywhere to the point where we had like a pink TARDIS in London. I mean, that was one of the coolest bit of marketing as they did for that. But also Margot Robbie being like front and center. I think a combination of both those things, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know. It surprised me though. I thought that film was going to be a massive flop, but it actually turned out to be quite good.
I think without the Barbie movie, Warner Brothers would have been in really big trouble this year.
Oh, they would have
Colossal trouble.
because pretty much they've been going downhill like a sinking ship lately. Most stuff they put out there doesn't really have a return value. And considering that most of their products they're shelving or they're just cancelling out of the blue or changing directors like there's no tomorrow, I feel like they were lucky with Barbie, but they got a lifeline and they kept it.
Yeah,
It's
like
why I hope. It's why I
crazy.
hope next year Warner Bros. Actually turns up and actually does some good films or do something worthwhile next year, especially with Scooby-Doo, because next year I'm hoping to see a series, 2 movies at least, animated movies, direct to the video. Because this year it's just been nothing. We've had like one direct to video, and that was the Crypto 2. And then with the Velma, which didn't even get a media release. So I had nothing else to add to my shelf.
Yeah, it's been a rough year for sure. And
It's probably the
say,
worst year.
and say with
It
Holiday
is.
Haunt, like in terms of that being released, like how hopeful are you for that? Like just as a fan.
I will say this. I was doubtful that Crypto 2 was ever going to get released. I wasn't really expecting it to ever get released, considering that Holiday Hunt was more done than Crypto 2 at a starting point, and now Crypto 2 was finished, but then cancelled, but then got leaked. And I think that leak was what made it go on to getting a physical release eventually. So it's like Scoob is like one of these two things. I'm more hopeful now because of Crypto 2. So I believe there's a possibility that Warner Bros. Might release Holiday Hunt because we're talking about
Yeah,
it
I
and more
mean
people are
that's
talking about it.
the confusing thing. A lot of people
Or
say that Crypto
someone might
2 was
leak some
never
more information about
cancelled,
it.
which I'm
It
inclined to
it,
believe, but
it
at the
was
same
cancelled.
time, the only people I've heard that from are people still employed at Warner Brothers who were bootlicking Warner Brothers heavily when all
Yeah,
the other stuff was cancelled. So I do understand that that discourse exists, and I don't not believe it.
yeah.
It's just I haven't heard that from a source that I know and trust enough to go, okay, I'm just going to take this awful like studio's word at face value type thing.
Yeah, because look, we know it got cancelled because it got part of a tax write off, but then it got leaked. So it made the tax write off pointless at that point. So releasing it at least gives them some money back because more people brought it because of the hesitation. Like you can check on Amazon now how many people brought it in the last 30 days, and those are some good numbers on Crypto 2 just from Amazon alone. So people did buy it. I just feel like the person who leaked it probably doesn't work there anymore. I don't think, but
Mm.
he probably did a solid because now we have it on
I mean, it
physical
would
release.
make the most sense. The thing was leaked right after Mystery Pups was cancelled.
Yeah,
Like, it's there's too much that adds up to think any other way, at least in my mind. But that's a question that I've got for you because my experience has been like Crypto 2, at least around the local area. Like I'm not that technologically savvy like you. Like I haven't looked at Amazon and stuff. I wouldn't know how to look at figures like that. But at least in my local HMV, Asda, Morrison's, from what I can tell, the first batch of Crypto 2 DVDs are still there. They haven't moved. And so I'm kind of like, for all I didn't really love crypto as much as a lot of other people did because I don't know too much about the DC universe, although I do acknowledge that they kind of appeal to both sides of things in that regard. My opinion was it was a lot more difficult to sell that movie than it would have been Haunted High Rise, which was a little bit more Halloween themed because it was released in September on the build up to Halloween. And so my question is, say if Holiday Haunt was released mid-November or even now, which of those two products do you think would have made more money for Warner Brothers, Crypto 2 or Holiday Haunt?
I want to say Holiday Haunt would have made more money because more people were wanting it ever since the Scoob movie. So more people are invested into it. And the difference between that and Crypto 2 is because Crypto 2 is you really got to know the DC characters, which a lot of people will be put off from actually buying it because they don't know that side. Whereas Holiday Hunt, it's just a typical Scooby-Doo like seasonal film. That's all it is. It's still the gang, solving a mystery. There's just a holiday theme behind it. It's very simple to pick up, and ever since the movie and that, we've been invested in this because we knew about it. That they were going to do a Christmas movie that was meant to be on the big screens, but then done as a streaming option instead, to then possibility of being on home media, to then being cancelled. So everyone's still invested in Holiday Hunt because they're waiting for it. So I feel like if they released it, sales would be better with the Holiday Hunt than it was with Crypto 2.
See, I agree. And this is something that I'm a bit hesitant to touch upon just because, I mean, we're not even going into like shaky ground here. This just is a fact of demographics. Now, for all we're calling it holiday haunt and everything like that, I think there is no
Could have a name
secret
change.
that it's a Christmas movie, right? Like it isn't a general holiday movie as such. Like I don't believe there was going to be references to stuff like Hanukkah and stuff like that. Like I think even in the Michael Krinsky interview that I did like over a year ago now, it was dubbed a Chris mystery, but that's no problem at all from my perspective. But to you, do you think making it Christmas and holiday themed was somewhat alienating because not everyone celebrates Christmas, or like how do you think that limits the demographic at all?
I don't think the movie is going to be about saving Christmas because that gets too niche and cliche. I think saving Christmas is overrated.
I mean,
I think
like, do you
having
think the
having a
Christmas
mystery.
theme is limiting because not everyone celebrates Christmas?
I don't think it's limiting. I feel like as long as it's festive around that period, because it's called holiday hunt. So for we know, they're just calling it a holiday, which means
Yeah.
they're not really going to be properly celebrating Christmas. I feel like they're just around that month where they're just going to solve the mystery. It's going to be snowing, of course, because obviously holiday hunt, you need something a bit of snow, give it all that magic. But I don't think it's going to be Scooby-Doo and the gang team up with Santa facing the Grinch. I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to be that level. I just think it's going to be some sort of snow ghost monster causing havoc in some sort of resort, and then it's centered around the festive period, which they've done before, but they don't really focus on the whole giving and sharing of Christmas. They just you see a tree and then you just get swamped with the mystery that you forget that it's even Christmas.
Is it your experience, like this is a little bit off topic, but kind of still on demographics, but is it your experience that many people do celebrate Christmas regardless of that? Because I know we like to call it a Christian holiday, but personally, raised by a Sikh mum and a Jewish dad, I was still very
Yeah.
much raised with a Christmas tree, celebrating Christmas. Like, have you ever met someone that doesn't? I know we're talking from quite a limited viewpoint, but is that your experience?
Well, I just like I don't really celebrate Christmas to the extent as most people do. I think of it as like another day of work. That's I just like I'll take anything for a day off. Put the tree up. It just gives me something to do. Because when you look at Christmas, like you said, it's like it's different for every household and how they celebrate it, depending on what religion and what you believe in. For me personally, I just like the whole purpose of a man flying around delivering presents. Great. If you believe in that, good for you. Me, it's just a tree. Parents put the presents underneath the tree. It's just another sharing moment where you just like buy
Yeah.
presents for other people. It's like a second birthday, but you're not getting any older. That's all it is to me.
I like that. That's actually a good outlook. It's like we have Christmas specials on TV and movies, and it's almost like if our life was a movie, December is our Christmas special. That's kind of cool. And turkey. Well, I like turkey. I like a good turkey.
Getting it all year round.
A bit of gobbling as well. It's weird that I never do eat turkey unless it is December or pigs and blankets. But that's kind of a bit of
It
a
makes sense
tangent
for
from
pigs and
me.
blankets around Christmas time.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
oh,
'cause you
I
need
haven't
to.
had any yet, but I'm gonna go like a monster when I do.
As long as it's not like movies like Die Hard that aren't Christmas but called Christmas films. That's the only bit that irritates me when people are, oh, let's watch a Christmas film. I'm put on Die Hard. That's not a Christmas film. That's just a guy beating up terrorists.
Yeah, like Iron Man 3, there's like a little bit of that on Christmas at the start, but probably not a Christmas
Yeah, you
movie.
wouldn't class that as a Christmas movie. I wouldn't
What
class.
else? Spider-Man No Way Home. He flies through a shopping mall and you hear a Christmas song once. There's a Christmas tree at the
Yeah,
end. Is that
but
a
I'm just
Christmas
like,
movie? Probably
it's.
not.
I'm just other thing that for me, it's like Christmas movie, like Elf, Christmas movie. Okay, it's got Santa in it. I'll give you that one, a Christmas movie. Die Hard, you don't see Santa. Santa doesn't come and help team up with John McClane beat up the terrorists. He's not really doing it to save Christmas. He's saving his wife, who's in the building along with all the other people. At the end of the day, they don't even like celebrate Christmas. It just goes to the credit scenes of him being
I
taken
want it to
away.
be a spooky Christmas movie, a bit like, not like Nightmare Before Christmas is spooky, but one of those ones that is you can also watch on Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah.
That's like, I think one of my favorites. Or
Oh, like
Gremlins
a
even.
Krampus or whatever it's called.
Krampus, yeah, that's a
Krampus,
good
that's
one.
it. Yes.
We even got a Krampus in Mystery Incorporated as well, I think. Like, there's some good Christmas episodes. It's just that movie that we're really lacking. Like, got lots of specials, lots of
We need a
episodes.
proper big Scooby Doo movie, and that's where Holiday Hunt would have shined down and be like, yes, finally, we can do these stuff on the big screens. But no, typical Warner Bros. They end up doing stuff to the last minute. And we're like, nah, we're going to cancel this. Well, why? Because if I'd done something, it's like me spending a week on a video, editing it all together, rendered it, took about
Yeah.
because render it took all day to render, and we're like, you know what? I'm not going to upload this video. I'm just gonna leave it in the archive files. Why?
See, the thing is, though, it's worse than that if you think about it. It's say you've spent all your time working on a video, you've edited it, you've made it perfect, you've put a
Yeah,
lot of hard work into it, and then someone else that doesn't know anything about making videos goes, you know what, you can't release that one.
yeah.
That's even more
Especially
frustrating.
and especially with all the people they had to get the animate it, to write it, the voice actors, all of that you had to pay for and edit all of that together,
Like
and we're like,
Patrick Warburton returned as Sheriff Bronson Stone in Holiday Haunt. That's crazy.
and then they didn't release it. It's like
Just that clip alone,
just
if you
just that
put
clip alone.
that on like a in-app purchase, $5.99, that clip alone, his scenes would have made more money than
Yeah,
Velma. And
is
that
his
isn't even
whole.
a bash on Velma, it's just a fact.
They should just make next year just Sheriff Bronson Stone. Yeah, just
The
do a
Year of the
series about
Stone.
him. Just do Sheriff Bronson, and we're paid to see it. It's
Yeah.
the spin-off show. It's like, see, that is just like they could just promo him on the Scoob, like Holland Hunt movie, and then we'd just be heavily invested.
See, this is a question because I do
The
see a
guy's like a
lot
national
of.
treasure. Once he's gone, it's just like it's gonna be
See, I
heartbreaking.
have visions for Holiday Haunt. I have visions of a theatrical release, then a big DVD release, and merch. Now, here's the question: would you rather Holiday Haunt be dropped on a DVD this year, just as it is, just hey, we're doing a DVD, it's going to be out in 5 days, or would you rather more of an event build up this time next year or even earlier next year? Like, what would your like? Would you want to wait for that grandeur, or do you just want to see it?
See, now I want to see it, but I would also like a big build up because they can just do like one limited edition collection for pre-orders only,
Yes.
and that would make it worthwhile leading up to it because I'll pre-order it and I'll wait patiently. But if it's just gonna be a hype build up for a DVD release, I'd rather have the DVD release now. But if they're building up to something great, like a
True.
limited quantity while stock lasts kind of deal, perfect.
Even just
I'll do it.
that 50 anniversary DVD where they had it in a box and there's that little
Oh,
plush. Even
oh,
just that for Holiday Home,
oh! Do
but
you
a
mean the
little
Mystery
Santa
Mansion
hat.
set?
No, it's like a
Because
little
I
one.
still got mine sealed, not been opened. I I went into the Kex the other day.
Oh,
And
I love
you know our Mystery Mansion. Where are you? Limited edition. They had that in Kex,
cakes.
but it wasn't in the plastic seal. And you know how,
How much was
like,
that?
I'll tell you in a second.
Ah,
But no, so
because I'm
it did have no plastic case around it. It was just a mystery mansion house on its own with stuff inside. The box, you know how light can damage the color of the box?
yeah, like sun bleaching.
Yeah, it had that. Now the price. What would you price that as?
How badly sun bleached? Like, was it completely yellow looking, like on one side?
It, I'll give you an example. I have something that actually is colored bleached, but I have two of them, one with perfect color,
Oh,
one without. But this is what it looks like. So this is my sealed copy, perfectly mint condition. And this is the color of something that's faded.
hmm.
You can see how bad it is. Whereas you can see the other colors there, which is more
Yeah, it's a lot
vibrant.
more
But
vibrant,
you can see how
lush.
different it is. And they had that condition in Kex. Now remember, no plastic case, just the mystery box set, and that's it.
Am I being too optimistic if I'm predicting 45?
Higher.
60 pounds? Higher?
Higher. You're
80?
halfway. No, you're not even higher.
120?
Yep, 120.
Jesus.
I saw it. I was like this. I was there.
Nah.
I was like, yeah, I want to buy. Let's say this is the Wii game. I want to buy this Wii game. Thank you. And I was there, like, I was like, I had to get my phone and zoom in. I was like, you sure that price is right? 120. He goes, yeah, it's the limited edition release one. And it's like, well, where's the box and where's the
Yeah, like where's the
everything?
actual
Like my
quality?
one still has the actual limited edition
Oh,
sticker on there, and it's not been opened. It's been sealed since they. This is why there hasn't been unboxed on my channel. Like I'm keeping this sealed.
they should do that for Holiday Haunt, you know.
Mine literally says limited edition 10,951 of 50,000.
It is
Now,
gorgeous when it looks how it's supposed to look.
mate, if they're expecting, because I still got the little still, but there, if they're expecting a 120 for that, I must be able to get £1,000 at least for this.
Maybe 2 grand.
I'm just there, like thinking, how? I do really want to see what's inside this, but I don't want to ruin what I got going. But by
I
God,
guess though, since we're talking about added value, we'll leave it on this kind of interesting, fun, speculative note. If there was a deluxe version of Holiday Haunt released, what bit of merch would you like to see either be included in it or released separately, like as just a bit of merch for the movie?
if they're doing a holiday hunt, they can do it as some sort of like sleigh mystery machine edition.
Oh, lovely.
So you know how they got the Where Are You Deluxe edition, where it's got the mystery machine van. That as like a sleigh edition. I feel like that would be
I love
great
that.
because then you could have like a plushy head sticking out and do something like that. I feel like that would be pretty epic to fit the theme because I'd definitely pay for it.
Here's what I'd like. A big snow globe. Yeah, Scooby-Doo snow globe with the bottom being like you can open it out and that's where the disc is.
Yeah.
That's what I'd love. A big snow globe boxer. That would be amazing. So, yeah, I suppose that does us for this topic. If I'm not mistaken, this will be released on the last Wednesday before Christmas, which I don't know what date that's going to be. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays from the Mystery Machine as well. So, Mark, is there
How are
anything
the
you want to
batteries
say?
still alive?
Is there anything you want to say to the audience about the holidays before
Oh
we end
my
up?
God. I'm surprised those batteries still work. Oh yeah, so a personal message. Hope everyone has a fantastic Christmas and a good New Year as well. Obviously, I'll be working, unfortunately. So
Oh no.
I'm literally doing covering everyone's overtime. Apparently, when Christmas is around the corner, everyone falls ill. Surprisingly, so yeah.
Really lurgy.
I
The
hope you have
festive
a.
lurgy.
I'll be sleeping in on my Christmas day because I'll be working Christmas Eve.
Aw. But yeah, thanks so much everyone for watching. If you do want to see more, then please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.